Ladies and gentlemen, it's race day. We are in Japan today. Fully dry weekend apart from the very end of the race. There's a little cheeky bit of rain in the air that may well hit particularly hard immediately. It's going to be dry monsoon, so we're going to have to be ready for that when it comes. Hoping to have a fantastic Grand Prix weekend here in Japan. Our season has been getting steadily, slowly better and better and better after the photo finish of the Australian Grand Prix that, spoilers, didn't go our way. We finished 9th, not 8th, as science got me on the line as we went into low fuel mode. We will hope to continually, again, move forward this season. Last year, we actually went slightly backwards with our result in Japan, but I'm hoping that we can actually do something points-worthy and keep the upward trajectory of our results going today with regards racing here in Suzuka. So please do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the content so far. I really appreciate it. You guys have been loving our time at Ferrari thus far, which is great. Thank you for showing the continued fantastic support for the F1 content. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more, of course. And come and join me on stream and you'll be able to watch every lap of every session that we do. Links in the description to Twitch and to the YouTube live stream channel. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to head straight to practice. Resource points accrued. 390 sends us to 464. Still not loads, but our stats are going up. We're getting ever so slightly closer to 79 rated. We will need to put fresh parts in the car, of course, for qualifying, which hopefully will allow us to be slightly quicker. The car feels good, but whether that good car feeling equates to quick stopwatch timing, I'm not yet sure. Sometimes half the battle is just having the car in a place where you feel like you can push, and then if the car is quick enough, then great. If it isn't, then at least it's not an absolute dog to drive and you can still half enjoy going around. And being in the car we're in, we should still be going around challenging for points, shouldn't we? We hope, anyway. So let's see what we can do in qualifying here in Japan. The car was good in practice, but is it good in... Well, it was good in practice, but good in theory, but not good in practice is the phrase, isn't it? But good in practice, but not good in a race, or decent in a race? Well, let's find out. So I don't use it either. Oh, I just could not get the power now. Yeah, I must have lost some time through the spoon because I just gained like 2.5 tenths there. Although I've lost it all down the straight, so I had a poorer exit than last lap. Need a good exit of the chicane here. Not bad. Not bad. It's a significant enough improvement, but is it a significant enough improvement? Whoa! Skin of your teeth stuff in this Ferrari at the minute. Skin of your teeth. Because I'm having to put so much extra downforce on the car to make it handle well, it's costing me in a straight line significantly at a circuit like this. Through Sector 1, I am at the same pace as the front runners. I was only a tenth off Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton in the first sector after one run. But I'm losing so much time in the middle sector and the last sector because of my lack of straight line speed, because of the extra downforce on the car, that it's costing me significant positions. We're only, to be fair, we're only 2 tenths off a top 10 position here, and Piastri is there in 10th. So the McLaren isn't necessarily at the moment that well suited to this circuit either. There's perhaps a shock with the Haas going out in Kevin Magnussen. That car is definitely faster than that. But on this occasion, in the hands of the Dane, it isn't. Sainz and Piastri put in the exact same lap time. I was 1 millisecond slower than Yuki Tsunoda, but faster enough by exactly half a tenth than Kevin Magnussen to get through. So, again, we're going to look for a Ferrari P11 at best, really, and save a set of tyres. Although we don't save a set of tyres because I'm going to need to use them all anyway.
It's being looked into now, so just bear with us for a few minutes if you can, please.
I'm going to try and finish as high as we can, although we were in a similar position in Australia and then did make it through to Q3, so maybe we can do so again. Been a poor sector 1 so far.
Right, that's us pushed down into P15.
We've improved, but I don't think it's going to be by enough. It is not. 2.5 tenths off P11 only, and it's going to be P15 again. Once we get those aero upgrades and the drag reduction is down and the rear downforce is upgraded enough that I don't have to put so much of it on, we will be significantly more competitive in a straight line. But I had an iffy first sector there, which didn't start the lap well. I didn't put in my best effort in my best part of the track, which meant that the lap time suffered as a whole. We're only 3 tenths off as it happens from Oscar Piastri, who's not doing that well at the moment in that McLaren, but I'm not doing that well in my Ferrari at the moment, am I? Charles Leclerc was fastest there, and I am currently, albeit with a scrappy lap, a second off him. I'm certain as soon as the aero is upgraded and I can run less downforce and the car is more drivable, we will start to perform closer to our teammate. But perhaps it's realistic that a 78 rated driver can't match an 89 rated driver, or wherever it is that Charles Leclerc is currently rated at. So as the car gets better, we will get better. The other drivers are strong in Japan as well, but certainly my higher rear downforce is the main factor here. It's quite evident to see as well by the sector times. I am on par with my teammate in sector 1. However, when it's about pure straight line speed, I'm not there in sectors 2 and 3 because I'm having to run so much downforce. So it is what it is. The car is drivable, and that's half the battle. It means we can push in the race. We have decent tyre wear, 12% better than expected, which could be our saving grace here. I'm going to aim and expect to have points again here in Japan, as we have done in our last 2 Grand Prix, but podiums aren't there for us yet at Ferrari. It might be a case of Season 1 at Ferrari, get the car towards the front of the grid. Season 2 in Ferrari, challenge for the title. Did Charles get pole in Q3 as well as being fastest in Q2? He did not. Didn't even make the front row. A 26.9 from Max Verstappen. He's nearly 2.5 tenths faster than Fernando Alonso. That is disgusting. Max is just too strong in this save right now. Charles Leclerc P4, which is still not bad. He can challenge for a podium from there for sure. He's had a decent start to the season. Sainz in P9. I will start P15. We don't anticipate that anyone has taken any penalties this early in the season, and indeed they haven't. I am P15. And then moving away further back, Théo Pourchaire lines up alongside his teammate Alex Albon at the back of the grid. Théo Pourchaire a long way off the pace, 2 seconds off the pace. Right, you see how my projected race time is actually nearly or over 6 seconds better than the projected one. My personalised is definitely better, so we can one-stop and be faster. I was kind of hoping that there'd be more drivers starting on the hards, but as it happens, there's only 2 drivers starting on the hards, both the RB. So we're going to have to go mediums and match everybody else, but I will be able to box on 23 rather than 25, which is when everyone else will box, and get a really tasty undercut. So that will be the aim. When it comes to what fuel we can put in, I think I'm going to be it's quite a drinker in Japan, so I'm not going to put too much more fuel out of the car. 2.5 laps worth of extra fuel. With the rain set to come as well, undercutting onto the hard tyre should be even more powerful because we'll be off that harder tyre before they wear too far because the rain will come. So we want to make the most of a full medium stint, and then the rain should probably cut the hard stint short. Aiming for points, expecting to get points, dare I say, but how many, time will tell. Starting on the racing line side of the grid here. It's not a bad start. Oh, Jesus. Kevin Magnussen was lightning. Now we might be able to sneak around the outside of someone. Ocon has taken the line, or blocked the line I wanted to take. To try and get around the outside there. Be careful with Daniel Ricciardo here not to pick up any damage, but I might be able to, no, I've not got the confidence to nail it on the throttle and definitely take that position. Alright, down a couple off the start, but that's fine. Just all about survival through Sector 1 at Japan, lap 1, isn't it? And then we can definitely make a couple of positions at the hairpin, hopefully. As they all concertina up here, we will go, thank you very much. I'll have that position off Daniel Ricciardo. And if I can get a decent exit, we can pull away from Daniel Ricciardo. Now, our battery retention is going to be important here because, as we've been able to see from qualifying, I am going to need the extra helping hand in a straight line. But provided I don't do that too many times, we should be okay. I'm going to take a defensive line here, using a lot of battery just to keep up now. We'll be fine around 130R. Daniel will back out of it, and we'll close the gap back up because they'll concertina up through the chicane as well. Right, dodgy for that first lap. There's no doubts about that. And to get back into the rhythm. Well, not even back into the rhythm, just into the rhythm. That was a big bump. I'm not sure why there was such a big bump there. That was crazy. He's going to go for it here, Daniel Ricciardo. You can see quite clearly the deficit in a straight line. Hopefully soon you'll be able to see the strength through this first sector if I can just put it together. The car is not very happy on a full tank of fuel, that's for sure. But we've taken 4/10 out of Esteban Ocon there in that first sector, and I didn't even nail it.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Gonna need to make sure we're within DRS range though. Not that really there's that much to be gained by DRS here in Japan with just that start-finish straight, but still, obviously, with my lack of straight line speed, I'm just going to need to get every advantage I can. Even with battery, I'm losing time there to those in front. But that's just the nature of the characteristics of this car right now. It is slow in a straight line because I have to run so much downforce. Even using my battery there, look, I'm still bleeding time hand over fist. This is going to be a long Grand Prix, gents. And probably a painful one too. Judging by that, we are going to have to hope that our undercut works wonders for us. We do have DRS, thankfully. If I can just get myself closer and then try and just cling on, then that's the plan. Daniel being behind with his hard tyres on might help us. And our extra tyre wear benefit is going to come in handy too. Someone at the front of this train is definitely running with damage. They are dead slow through this sector here. It's the Alpine of either Gasly or Hulkenberg, but he's holding up an entire train here. I don't know actually if that is a single World Championship point at the front of this train. It's P10. And thanks to his damage, we're able to keep up. Well, I got a poor exit there because I've got my braking point wrong. Oh, we've not started the race well, have we, lads? No, we haven't. We need to get past this lot. We need to pick these guys off one by one, make our way through. Otherwise, Gasly's going to ruin... Actually, Gasly's pulled away. Maybe it's the RB in front that has damage. Whoever it is that's carrying the damage, that is holding this group up, needs to move or needs to be cleared. Otherwise, there's no chance of anything higher than a P10 today. And that P10 is getting further down the road now as well because he's seen off the RB. It's definitely Yuki Tsunoda that's the one with the damage. Look at the gap that Pierre Gasly's opened up already. Time to get aggressive. Elbows out. Make some positions. Gonna go for Esteban into the hairpin. I trust this car with my life with regards to the brake pedal. It just stops so incredibly well. That in part is due to the extra downforce we have put on the car, but also, I'm gonna have to go slightly defensive here, but also because the car just stops well. It's a mixture of the two. Right, let's close back up. 1.5 seconds has opened up now to those in front. We need to get that back again. See ya, Esteban. There's nothing I can do about that. That is just pure straight line speed. They are slow around sector 1 though.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
If only Ferrari had done some upgrading of the aero package, it wouldn't be so bad. Painful in a straight line, it really is. Excuse me. Coming through. Tsunoda might not even have damage. It might just be because he's on that hard tyre, but he is painfully slow through the corners, so you imagine it's a mixture of both, perhaps.
On Tsunoda.
Ah, here you go.
Some kind of mechanical problem.
So it's not damage in terms of aerodynamically. The damage is internal. Mechanical issue for Tsunoda, that's why he's so slow in a straight line. Slower even than ourselves, which is not easily done at the moment. Esteban's going to have a look again, but I'm going to use some battery to defend. K-Mag's looking to get past Tsunoda here. Esteban's thinking about doing the same to me, but won't. Right, I need to get past Yuki and stick with Kevin, otherwise he's gone. I'm going to throw it up the inside. Sorry, Yuki. You're just too slow, mate. It was very rude there, but I had a run, and I wasn't gonna let the opportunity pass me by. He says as that opportunity passes him by. So he then makes the mistake. Okay, good. Well, Kevin is gone then, regardless of the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. 1.9 seconds now and only growing. Our straight line speed, or lack thereof, is too strong here.
Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy.
It's just GP2 engine. Ah!
Okay, so gap to the car ahead. 1.9
It's not GP2
seconds.
engine, to be fair. It's GP2 Aero. F2 Aero is just dead. Car is just, quite frankly, dead in a straight line. And there's nothing I can do about it. Is that not a wise thing to do, or is that a silly thing to do? Jesus Christ, Esteban. I'm full throttle, using all of my battery, and he races past me as if I'm not even there. Thankfully, I've got better aero than him and can just get him back again. Thank you, mate. That was a nice little retake of position. Kevin's issue has meant that he's dropped well off the back of Nico Hulkenberg. Similar sort of issue, presumably, to Yuki Tsunoda. At the minute, my tyre wear isn't actually working in my favour as much as I hoped that it would do. I don't even know whether actually... I was thinking about going medium to the rain, because the rain's definitely coming. But I don't know whether I could actually get far enough before the rain arrives. These mediums are really worn after just 16 laps, and we still need to do another 9 before the allotted pit stop. And as the tyres are wearing, my advantage in the corners is going down, and my disadvantage in traction zones is going up. I no longer can make the most. Do it again, Esteban, shall we? Maybe have a little bit of a dance with you through sector 1. I'm not able to make the most of my extra aero now, and the tyre wear at this stage of a stint just isn't working in my favour either. I could try and heavily undercut, but the rain's definitely not coming until at least lap 40 to 45, you wouldn't have thought. And I'm not even sure whether the undercut would offset the straight line speed at this stage. Alex Albon's decided to join the party here now as well. We're going to box significantly early, because we know the rain is coming, and we know the rain is coming hard. We just don't know when. But I'm hoping I can go all the way around the outside here. That's Lance Stroll-esque from the real-life Japanese Grand Prix. See you, Kev. That was a really nice overtake.
Great pass.
So far behind, though, look. Gasly's opened up a 14-second lead on us. And that's just Pierre Gasly in P11. Got Stroll in front of him in the points, and then there's an even bigger gap, or just as sizable a gap, to the next group of cars. As soon as this Ferrari has a decent aero package, we will be challenging for podiums. Because when the setup is good, or when the car handles well, it's a dream to drive. It really genuinely is a good car to drive. I just have to put too much downforce on it. Ocon's going for Magnussen behind. There's no point wasting time now. I might as well just come in. We're going to try a massive undercut. A 5-lap undercut on the hard tyres. Because these mediums have had it. Nearly 40%. Oh, so used to being at a lower down team that I forgot to actually
Okay, go
for the pit
that
box.
stop wasn't great. We've lost some time there.
Right, we are going to be running last, and last by a mile, but we should now gain significantly, hopefully. That's the plan here. Hards to the rain. As long as the rain comes by lap 48 at the latest, then we've run no further a stint on this hard set than we were planning to anyway to get us to the end of the race. So rain by lap 48, and we've not lost anything. It is purely all there to be gained now, we hope. 20 seconds to gap. No, never mind. 19 seconds to gap. Yuki's DNF'd. Why is Yuki DNF'd? He's around here. Presumably his engine's gone. He's not binned it. No. Yeah, he's just parked it up. His engine's gone biff. And Yuki Tsunoda is out of the race. The gap's dropped by 4 seconds in front, but I presume that's because they had to get out of the way of Yuki Tsunoda, not because I've just gained 4 seconds in Sector 1 because of pure tyre wear. That's surely not the case. No, because he's still 18 to Zhou Guanyu. Would have been awkward to try and get around the car there, actually, that was retiring in that part of the circuit. Never mind. The grind begins again. I am very much looking forward to China next. Although straight line speed could be a bloody issue there as well. So we might put a little bit more thought into it practice-wise for China to ensure that we're not running quite so much rear downforce compared to everybody else. So that we can remain a bit more competitive. I went with a significantly higher downforce setup here, hoping that my ability in the corners would outweigh my lack of straight line speed, and it really has not worked. As anticipated, Albon and Ocon, who were the cars that we were running with, now we'll find out how much of an overcut, or undercut, sorry, we gained in terms of time as they come out of the box. How much time have we earned by boxing 5 laps early?
You're increasing
Quite a bit.
the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up.
6 seconds or so. 6 seconds gain. We'll take it. I mean, it won't take them long to close that back down now, but we have track position should something happen like a safety car, etc. If there is a safety car that arrives, then we will put a fresh set of mediums on.
The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
We gained about 6 seconds on Gasly as well.
In the pits.
That was 14 or 15. Now down to 8 to 9. But obviously that will now extend. And everybody else apart from the front three is in the pits this lap. Still no news about the weather, but the clouds are gathering.
Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes.
How is that for timing? I really should have gone to the mediums, shouldn't I? Never mind. Rain in 10 to 15 minutes from now. We are about half race distance now. So, rain is on the way. Our higher aero package should hopefully help us in the rain as well. But I will, well, not that I've really had it for most of the lap anyway, most of the race. I will lose any DRS, of course, in wet weather conditions. No idea what the rain will do for our pace. Normally, we go backwards in the rain. But wait and see. We will be able to save more battery in the wet weather because we'll be braking more. 2.8 seconds to Nico. To be fair, the gap to Gasly has held itself. But the gaps behind are closing. Well, Gasly's stuck behind an RB, that's why. Gasly's stuck behind one of the two RB cars that started on hard tyres and is still going. That's why the gap to Gasly hasn't grown yet, because his pace is being held up by someone else. Someone else who is actually about to get past going through 130R into the braking zone for the chicane by the looks of things. It's Daniel Ricciardo, because Ricciardo is now registered as 12th, top left. It's going... Why have I just gone down to lean? Oh, now we've got even more issues.
The ERS is offline. We're currently looking into the problem.
How very Ferrari! So now I'm in lean. It's not my ERS that's offline, it's the fact that my car has now gone into lean. So I'm running a slower fuel mix. It's the 3rd or 4th time this season alone that that's happened. And another race is going to be significantly altered by the poor characteristics of this car. Be that terrible aero or terrible durability, of which there was only 2 upgrades for the whole season from last year. This car is now a tractor, and more of a tractor than it was, because look at my ERS. I'm not in overtake, it's just draining.
Dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
Race ruined, and through no fault of my own. We jumped at the chance to move from Haas to Ferrari, but so far this season, it seems we would have been better served staying at the customer team for another year. We're back into standard. It should be back to normal, thankfully. Rain in, well, they said 10 to 15 minutes about 3 or 4 laps ago, so the rain is still quite a way out, I think, and it it's proving to be a decent decision to go to the hards, not the mediums, for this second stint. With P13, and unless the rain really neutralises the whole race, I don't see us moving any further forward, really. I think I just saw a raindrop. Yep, the rain is falling. More raindrops spotted. We could be on wet weather tyres by lap 39 at the latest, because I envisage it coming down pretty hard, pretty quick. We'll set Inters as our next tyre.
2 seconds.
Straight line speed difference is just absurd. Come on, Esteban. Bloody hell. Well, we're going to want to be the first in for Inters, and we're going to want to do it at exactly the right time to try and make as much time as possible. I don't know whether our higher aero package will actually be beneficial in the rain. And those that are set up more for straight line speed will struggle so much in the first sector that maybe we can then make use of our higher aero, but it's pretty unpredictable at the moment. Yellow flag somewhere. It's behind, unfortunately. I think someone went off at the hairpin. They might have locked up. I think it might have been one of the Alpines. Or one of these two, actually. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. That's what happened. Round and round and round she goes. The Sauber did a little spinaroo.
Make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Grip's really starting to go now. Although that might be tyre wear as much as anything. We did box 5 laps earlier than everyone else to try and make the most of an undercut. Very, very, very big undercut. Earned us about a second a lap or more so. In a minute, no sign of the rain getting heavier than it is, and no sign of the track getting wetter than it is. Which would be a real pain in the arse, actually. Because I was kind of hoping the rain would level things out for us a little bit in these latter stages of the Grand Prix. You can clearly see how much faster we are through the first sector, he says as he makes a mistake.
So this rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. It said 88% on the weather forecast, which surely is past the threshold for wanting intermediate tyres. But at the minute, seemingly not. Able to stick with Esteban Ocon. Through the corners, very much so. Tyre temps are fine. Surface temperatures are a little cold, but core temperatures are still fine. It's definitely not intermediate tyre running yet. At the moment, I wouldn't be confident that it ever will be. Diff is 80. There you go. The rain started to fall on the track. I'm going to box.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
The rain's starting to bounce on the track. I'm boxing this lap for Inters. I'm in. I'm in. It's a risk, but it's a risk I'm taking.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting.
Please don't burn up, tyres. Please don't burn up. I might have gone one lap too soon. We are gaining time quite considerably. But it might be one of those scenarios where the amount of time that you gain is just not quite as much as the cost for stopping for the tyres in the first place. Yeah, rear tyres are too hot. It just hasn't... I mean, you can clearly see the time that we've gained, but the rear tyres are just too hot. Unfortunately, it's a tactical gamble that isn't going to work. Tyres at 10% wear on the rear. Hasn't quite rained hard enough, fast enough for the gamble to Inters to make the pay, or make the dividends pay. It's a shame because we really are gaining considerable time on everyone else, even with the hot rear tyres. And if everyone had boxed a couple of laps after we did, we might well have made another chunk of time, just like we did when we stopped previously. A shame. Unfortunately, one to forget in Japan. We'll put it down to jet lag, and we'll go again in China, which is a significantly shorter flight from Japan than Melbourne is. And hopefully we'll get a better result there. We very much anticipate getting a better result in China. You guys know how good we are comparatively to the AI at China. We got a win there in a Haas last year. Somehow. (9900 degrees now on the rear left, going from yellow to orange. Kevin is out. K-Mag has DNF'd. Presumably just pulled over to the side here with a mechanical failure. Indeed he did. It's another position for us. Thank you very much. Up to P17. Woo! 5 laps to go. Plus the chicane. Might even end up with a rear tyre puncture at the minute. So hot are they getting. DRS disabled on lap 49 of 53. It is now officially too wet for DRS. But will anyone actually box, or are they just going to tiptoe round on their current very worn hard or medium tyres? I think it's going to be the tiptoeing, isn't it? I'm going to try and drive offline a little bit if I can to cool the rear tyres down. You can see just how much faster we are than everyone else everywhere other than the straights still, but even more so now than previous. Like, they would have significantly driven away from me prior to this weather, and I'm just going to be able to go all the way around up, nearly all the way up the inside of Théo Pourchaire. I'll just go all the way around the outside of him here. Excuse me, Mr. Pourchaire, thank you very much. P60.
Nice move, good job.
10 seconds to Daniel Ricciardo and 3.5 laps to close it. Probably not going to happen. And my front left is now starting to get hot. Inters is the best tyre for lap time.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space
considerably,
between you and the car behind by a few seconds
but
a lap. Really good stuff.
They're not lasting very long. My rear tyres are melting. I'm earning like 2.5 seconds or so a lap out of Daniel Ricciardo, if not more so. Well, my rear tyres are so hot, we're risking a puncture, probably. We've gained so much time back, though. It really has been nearly the whole pit stop. It will be by the end of the race. We might get Daniel. We had a photo finish in the last Grand Prix. Taking strategical gambles in this Grand Prix to try and get something from nothing. Turns out we're probably going to get nothing from nothing, but in the scenario we were in, it was absolutely worth the gamble. In a minute, I think Fernando Alonso is leading the race. And he's right with Théo Pourchaire behind. Pourchaire's getting lapped here. 2 seconds to Daniel.
Okay, mate, this is the final
Can
lap
we,
of the
on this
race.
final lap, actually close that? We've been going at about 2.5 seconds a lap faster than the RB as Fernando Alonso wins the Grand Prix just behind us. As we mentioned, they were just with Théo Pourchaire. So congratulations, Fernando. Nice for Max Verstappen not to win a Grand Prix. He DNF'd in Australia, of course, but I'm pretty sure it was him that was second to Fernando here. And we said, can we catch Daniel? Well, it was 1.9 seconds at the beginning of the lap. It's now under 9/10. So it looks likely that we are going to get P15 off Daniel Ricciardo here. Very likely indeed, in fact. But it's just been too little, too late. And it just hasn't quite hasn't quite rained hard enough for the change to wet weather tyres to have been worth it. But you can clearly see how much time we've gained. We were close to 25 seconds probably behind Daniel Ricciardo, close to 30 behind Ocon and Albon, and with perhaps one more lap, 2 tops, we'd have closed and gotten back to where we were. Our tyres have nearly exploded to do so. But the gamble was made. At least we were one of the faster cars on track in this final portion of the Grand Prix. But Japan has been one to forget. The point streak comes to an end. The Ferrari is still a dog.
And that's the end of the race.
And in China, we will have to find the middle ground between pure straight line speed and the extra downforce we need to make the car handle. Here, we went just a little bit too far towards extra downforce, meaning that we weren't able to make the most of the really positively handling car. We were just too slow in a straight line. So, finishes P5 and gets an extra 10 points for the team. I'm starting 15th and finishing 15th, and the only driver to do 2 stops. It could have been better. It could have been worse. My recognition is still at 36%. Charles is a 92 rated driver. I'm 78. That's basically making up for the gap that there is in lap time between the two of us. And I'm certain, absolutely certain, as soon as the car is back where it should be with aero, there's a driver ratings update available. Driver ratings will be adjusted to fall in line with their real-world counterparts. Preview changes and confirm below to decline to continue without the update. So Albon would go down 1, Tsunoda up 1, Bottas down 1, although he's currently not racing. Nico up 1, Checo down 1, Lando up 1, Lewis up 1, and Fernando down 1. Max down 1 as well. Anything that makes Max less OP, I am down with. Max Verstappen downgraded. He's still significantly better than anybody else on the grid by a significant margin, which is why he wins almost every bloody race. But hopefully he's going to be more catchable now than previously he was before. He has had a P1, a DNF, and a P2. DNF, P10, P9, P15 for us, compared to the 19th, 10th, 10th, 13th last year. So we are 1 point better off at this stage in a Ferrari than we were in a Haas. But the R&D chart clearly shows that the Ferrari isn't a very good car. We've got 5 aero upgrades now. I still can't afford the front downforce. The drag reduction is in the works, but is still a long way away from being completed. Extra resource points achieved here, but still not enough to add any more upgrades to the car, unfortunately. So we will continually be waiting for the upgrades to make the car better and waiting for the practice sessions to be completed at the next Grand Prix in China for us to be able to actually make the car better yet still. We will be able to add on front downforce in the next session, or after the next practice session. We've had our ERS fail on us 3 times in 4 races and hinder our progress. This has been very, very Ferrari thus far, hasn't it? Praying that there is no rain in China. Please be fully dry. There is rain in China. It's a sprint Grand Prix. There is rain at the end of the sprint. There is rain at the end of the race, but similar levels to Japan by the looks of things. So we may, in a similar fashion, not end up with wet weather running. Well, at least the sprint will give us the chance to practice for the full race, to know if we need to make any changes to the setup to ensure that we're competitive in a straight line. Only the 1 practice session to figure out the setup, though. So it's going to be an intriguing one that hopefully you will join me for. That's all for this episode on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more content here on ChesnoidPlays. Come and join me on stream. Link in the description down below to twitch.tv/ChesnoidGaming and the youtube.com/ChesnoidLive YouTube channels. I'm going to be continuing streaming, but for now, that's the YouTube video done and dusted. Thank you very much for watching. We pray for significantly better fortunes in China. I'll see you there.